What's going on, y'all? Grand Lotus MTG here. Thanks for checking out the video. I wanted to do a quick Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle draft format update. Basically, my thoughts on how the format has evolved over the last month is I'm looking at this as a 3-deck format. There are only 3 decks that I'm interested in drafting at this point. I've done probably 20 plus drafts between my in-person LGS drafts and my arena drafts. I'm still enjoying the format. It's actually had more of a shelf life than I thought it was going to, which is awesome. And being a small set, it's like I didn't know if that was going to last that long, but I'm having great battles. It's really fun. With kind of reminds me of Tarkir Dragonstorm, where there's definitely some tension between the super aggro decks and the super late game powerhouse decks. And so, really, what it boils down to for me, the 3 decks that I want to be in, and I'm not drafting pretty much anything else at this point, is number one is the black white sneak deck. Number two is it Artifacts, the blue red Artifacts deck. And number three is the green splash piles, featuring one of my favorite cards in the set, Everything Pizza. Those are coming out. It's hard to get them now. Before, people were passing them; they were coming super late in the pack. Now it's hard to get them. People know that is a sweet, sweet card. I call it Mini Jeskai Revelation because it does everything. And so basically, Black White Sneak, I think, is one of the funnest decks to play. It's really fun to drop that turn one Dream Beavers or Squirrelinoids or something, and your opponent just like groans like, "Ooh, this could be bad." And then turn two, you sneak in the Orokisaki, hit them for 3, draw a card, and you are off to the races. I've had opponents just concede on like turn 3 or 4. You get off to like one of those super fast starts, and they're just like, "I'm done." They kept a slower hand or something, and you're just curving out and just sneaking in stuff and just nuking them. But the problem I've had is that's probably the deck I've got to play the least because everyone wants to play it. It's a fun deck. It's super contested. So I've done a ton of drafts where I start out with a great white or black rare, and by pack, the third or fourth pick of pack one, it's just there's no white or black left in the pack other than something like extremely mediocre. So, um, what happens? I was also having a lot of fun with Is It Artifacts early on. That has been much less contested than the black white sneak deck, and you can have some really powerful interactions with Brilliance Unleashed, Baxter Stockman, bouncing stuff with nobody to get more value. There's ton of great red cards that a lot of people are passing the red cards because they don't go in the sneak deck. They don't go in the as much in the green splash 5 color 4 or 5 color everything pizza decks. And so I haven't been having as much luck getting into the red blue artifacts deck because typically what happens for me is I'm either my most drafted deck by far is the green base splash piles because typically I'll start, in the sneak deck and then it's 2 contested. All of a sudden I see some Frog Butlers or Mona Lisa or an Everything Pizza, and I'm like, ooh, sparkly. Let me go draft that. And so it seems like green is always open. People start passing, these late Frog Butlers, the late Courier of Comestibles, and these quality cards. The Sewer Surveillance Cam is one of my favorite cards in the set. That thing can do serious heavy lifting. And so I tend to go down more of the green base splash more than I do the artifacts deck. What's going to get me into the artifacts deck early is if I'm not really seeing much green, black white's not open, or I don't open good rares in the black white, and I start seeing early Baxter Stockmans, or people start passing me Brilliance Unleashed, 4th, 5th pick, and I'm like, yep, that deck is open. I want to go down that road. It can be a really fun deck. The cool thing too is you can do Everything Pizza with that deck. Everything Pizza goes just fine in a deck that's basically 2 colors, but that you have some ways of getting some mana fixing, like the Omni Cheese Pizza, or you can bounce the Everything Pizza with the Nobody. You to get more land, find more land colors. You also have, of course, like the Escape Tunnel to find your lands and stuff. Scoop up a few dual lands, and you're off to the races. So that's pretty much my main thoughts on the format. Is I'm not interested in Boros at all. I've tried Boros. It has never worked for me. You tend to be a little bit slower. The black-white sneak decks, when I've played Boros, I tend to lose to the black-white sneak decks. That sneak, they just get so much value, and they beat you up just a little bit faster than you can beat them up. Of course, if they get off to a slow start, you get off to a fast start, you can win. But my problem with Boros is the sneak deck is just a little bit faster. And then Boros really can struggle to finish the game against the big green base 4 or 5 color splash piles. If you can't finish off like a Sultai deck or an Everything Pizza deck, if you can't finish them off and they hit like 6-7 mana, they're going to stabilize, and then they have way, way, way better late game. They've got card draw, they got removal, they've got graveyard recursion. If they stabilize, you're toast. You've got all these little 1/1s and 2/2s and stuff, and you go really wide. But if they can stabilize and start cracking Everything Pizza, you Boros deck, you're done. You're done. So you just you don't have a good matchup against the black-white sneak deck, and you're not really fast enough to take out the green splash piles reliably. And the blue-red artifacts decks just get so much more value by bouncing their artifacts, and the Sewer Cam, and the Baxter Stockman, and the Brilliance Unleashed, and all the red removal. And so I have zero interest in drafting Boros at this point. I've tried. It has not worked for me at all. And then you look at like the other decks being like Golgari or Simic. Those decks are really lackluster compared to just splashing more colors. If you're doing Golgari or Simic, you should be splashing 4 or 5 colors and trying to get those Everything Pizzas and going big, go over the top. Get the removal, get the card draw, but don't confine yourself to just blue-green or just blue-black. If you're playing those colors, you should be splashing. You should be getting those Frog Butlers, getting those Mona Lisas, getting the Everything Pizzas, and really trying to be like, hey, if this game goes long, you are going to win. You are going to beat anybody because you've got serious late game value, and there's no reason not to be splashing. If you see a Baxter Stockman or a Brilliance Unleashed or a Neutrinos or, whatever, splash them, go for it, swing for the fences, because the just straight black-green or just straight black or green-blue have a significantly lower win rate than 4 and 5 color, splash piles. So, all right, thank you for checking out the video. I hope you're enjoying Turtles. Definitely looking forward to Strixhaven. It's kind of nice when they have so many sets coming out for us drafters, because you don't get bored of a set by the time the set's getting stale. You're like, oh, the next one's here, sweet. So, all right, thanks for watching. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and good luck on your next draft. Take care.